Hello captains, and welcome to this Explain 10 video. Thank you so very much for your comments and praise of the first impressions video of the IXEG 737. I did receive quite a bit of comments on that video. I've tried my best to answer all of them to the best of my ability. If I did not answer you, it was completely unintentional, and I do apologize for that. It's just that I really received a lot of comments on that video, and I received a number of requests on that video to do another video to show a full flight of the IXEG 737. So this is exactly what we're going to be doing today. Today we're going to be flying Scandinavian Airlines Flight 4606 service from Manchester to Bergen Airport in Norway. Our approximate flight time will be 1 hour and 25 minutes, and we'll be flying at flight level 350 for this flight today. Just a little bit on our flight. We are going to be starting from a cold and dark, although this is not a very realistic state in which pilots receive the aircraft, but we are going to be starting from a cold and dark state. We will program the FMC, and then we will depart Manchester and head over to Bergen Airport. So without further ado, let us jump into the flight deck and get the aircraft ready for departure. Welcome to the flight deck, captains. So before we get started here, just a quick note. This is a version 1.0.1. You should have received an email from X-Aviation basically on how to update to this version. If you don't want to download the the entire downloader from the X-Aviation website, you can update through Gizmo, and you should have received the code to do this update. A painless update, really straightforward, and they've addressed some of the issues found in the initial release. So I can only pay them a lot of respect for really being so responsive to the initial release and releasing this hotfix for this beautiful bird. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. Battery on, emergency lights armed, and fuel is on, and now we can start the APU. Okay, so keep an eye on the EGT. Yeah, it's going up now. Beautiful overhead panel. Really, it looks awesome. Okay, here we go. Let's cancel the master caution. Alright, APU is now available. Alright, I'm going to switch here to X camera for a better view of the overhead panel. And let's go from here and see, actually, let's go over here and do this test. Do this test. That's fine. And the max speed warning tests. Those are fine. And let's switch this to nav. Switch this to nav. Alright, so we've got about 7 minutes before before alignment is complete. Alright, let's head over back to the overhead panel. Let's see here. Okay, we need coffee, so let's power the galley. Everything is fine here. We don't need that. That's fine. Circuit breakers is fine. Seat belts can go on. Cool feature, if you click on the attendant button, it will open the menu for the doors, which aren't operational yet, but they will be hopefully in the next release. And then you can also call ground services using the ground call, basically. Okay, this is fine. We can turn on the window heat on. The pitos need to stay off until after the engine is started. This needs to go here, and everything is fine. Let us turn on the position light, and let's see here. This should go to passenger cabin. Fans can go on, and the APU can go on. And let's turn the right pack on. Alright. Okay, for our flight today, we're going to be flying, our final cruising altitude is 350. So I'll set this to 350. Alright, and the landing altitude is there we go, about 10. Yep, that's right, cabin altitude. Let's set that to set that to 50. There we go. Okay. That looks good. Everything looks fine. Alright. So let's do some tests here. Alright, that's fine. That is also fine. Okay. This is fine. Alright, test is okay. You can test your oxygen here. Alright, which is fine, and we'll do it on the other side too. Alright, that's checked. And what else here? Let's test
flight slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Runway. Awareness. Okay.
Meters.
Alright, that's fine. And it's tested. Alright. Okay. So let's head over to the FMC now. We can do one more check, which is the light here. And we can check everything is fine. Reversers, lights, everything is okay. Right. So that we can now turn off. We can cancel master caution. And now let's head over to the FMC. But before we do that, let's bring up our ground services. Alright. I think this information pretty close to the fuel information that I have in my PFPX plan. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. So we've got a gross weight today of 47. So let's enter that here. Alright, and zero fuel is 39.98, which is close enough. Planned fuel is 7. And in reserves, you have about 2,000 kilos. And cruise altitude today is going to be 350 for our flight. And we will, let's see here. Yeah. Yep, that's fine. And now we can go to our route and fact, before we do that, oops, we need to initialize the position. We are at Echo Golf Golf Charlie. Valid entry. Yes, it is. Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. And we copy that and paste it here. And let's see, let's go back here and see about 4 minutes till the iris is aligned. So that's fine. Now let's go to our route. Now in the, I think that in the Boeing FMC, once you enter the position, it should automatically populate here as the origin. For some reason that didn't happen. So let's just go ahead and put it again. So that's Echo Golf Charlie Charlie, and we are heading to Echo November Bravo Romeo. Okay, and now we can go to the departure page. Okay, let me check my plan here real quick. So we are going to be departing today Manchester runway 5 right, and we are doing so through the Pole 1 Zulu. That's the one, Pole 1 Zulu. That's done, and we are going to be arriving into Bergen Airport runway, let's see, runway 35 through the Olive 1 Papa. So that's the Olive 1 Papa, and it's ILS runway 35. And the transition, let's see here if we have a transition. No, there is no transition. Okay. Alright, so we'll go to route, we will activate and execute. And let's see here. Alright, so after our star, we are going to be heading to Alpha Papa 17. That's an airway. So that's Uniform Papa 17. And that will take us to Tipta. Alright. That's Tipta. Okay. And then we are going to be taking Uniform Mike 82. Uniform Mike 82. To Nivon. Yep. Nivon. That's done. And after that, we're going to via Zulu 321. Zulu 321 to Aluva. And then from that we are going to be basically hitting our star for our arrival into Bergen Airport. Very well. Let's execute. And let's go ahead and check the legs page. Alright, everything looks okay to me. That's fine. No discos. Okay, that looks good to me. Alright, let's switch this to map and put this on about 40 miles, 40 nautical miles should be fine. Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and set our altimeter. And so let's listen to the... actually, instead of listening to the ATIS, let me consult my PFPX plan, which should be current. Okay, so the origin here at Manchester, the QNH is 1009. Alright, so 1009. Alright, altimeter is set. Okay, let's go ahead and complete our setup here real quick. Let me see here, what is the temperature? Okay. The temperature is 8 degrees. Could be right, that's fine. Slash 8 degrees. Okay. And let's see here, takeoff. So we've got flaps 5, and these are V1, VR, and V2. And the trim is 4.8. So let's check our trim real quick. That's about right. Alright, and these are our speeds. V1 is 123. So let's set this guy to 80 knots. And then 123 knots. That's about 123. And then 125. 135. Alright, so that's done. What else do we need to do? Let's switch this to legs page, and we'll leave this on takeoff page. Alright, and it looks like everything is good for us to actually begin pushback and start. So yaw damper can go on. And let's go ahead and turn on our fuel pumps and electrical powers. Pack can go off now for engine start. Right, so everything is fine here. Yeah, I believe we are ready for pushback and engine start. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's call ground services again. And let's say pushback nose to the right. Okay, let's release the parking brake. And now we've begun our pushback. Alright, let's go ahead and begin with engine number 2. Alright, and now we can give it fuel. Alright, and we have a good start on the first engine. Let's go ahead and start with engine number 1. Alright, pushback is complete. Alright, and now we can start engine number 2. Okay, looks like we have a good start on both engines. Now we can move to the generators, and we can turn off the APU. Packs go to auto. Everything else here is okay. Pitos can go on, and everything else is fine. Alright, let's go ahead and do this to 135. Alright, and we are flying flight level 350. Alright, and let's arm the auto throttle. Flight directors are on. Projected takeoff. And let's set flaps 5. Okay, so taxi flight controls. Okay, full up, full down, full left, full right, pedal full right, pedal full left. That's checked. Flaps 5. And trim is 0, 0 is checked. Cabin report is received. Checklist is complete. Okay, let's turn on the taxi light on, and anti-collision can go on. About right. That one's about right too. Alright. Looks like everything's fine. Let's do our final check. Okay. So let's release the parking brake and head over to runway 5 right for departure. Parking brake released. What is this guy doing there? Okay, folks, we continue to taxi to runway 5 right. There isn't a direct taxi to runway 25, so we have to kind of cross over and take this runway for a long taxi through to the beginning of runway 5 right. Alright folks, we are approaching runway 05 right now, and let's make our right turn here, and we'll come off the other way. Started raining here in Manchester. Alright, so let's make our final stop here before we enter the runway. Right, set the parking brake, and let's see here. Landing lights on, runway turn-off lights on, taxi off, strobes can go on, everything else here is fine. Yes, all checks okay. Flaps 5, and we are now ready for departure. Okay, let's release the parking brake. Okay, and let's get lined up here. Alright, we are ready for departure. So let's take N1 to 40%. And now let's engage Tuga. 80 knots, thrust set. V1 and rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Let's begin tracting the flaps. Now we can push VNav, LNav, and engage the autopilot. Oops. Oh, come on. Right. And let's retract the flaps. Well, it's a bit of I'm using a joystick button, or actually one of the switches for the landing gear, and I've recently changed them, so I'm using the mouse to basically put the gear in the off position, and that has taken it to gear down, so it disengaged VNav. So anyway, something that you should not do. Okay, so we continue our climb now. Everything is fine. LNav, VNav are activated. We should begin our turn here shortly. As you can see, there is a heavy rain right now here in Manchester. What a beautiful departure out of Manchester. Very nice indeed. Okay, everything is fine at the moment. Okay, let's turn on some lights here. Panel lights, that's good. These are the glare shield lights, and let's turn on this one here. Right map. Now, one thing we forgot to do before departure, which is turning on the terrain display. So let's do that, and also the weather display. So we have that at our fingertips. Yep, it's active now. And according to our plan, if we go to, obviously we're climbing now, we are going to be at 5,000 until we reach near Ipser, and that's where the plane will begin climbing again. Increase the brightness a bit here. Everything else is fine. There's also a light here, by the way, which is kind of nice. Right there, yeah. And let's see where we are. Yeah, we should begin climbing automatically. There we go. And as you can see now, the FMC is basically taking the same goes away. So as you can see, now we've begun our climb. That's the transition altitude. So we'll set the transition altitude to standard, which is 29902, 2992. There we go. Of course, we expect to arrive at Bergen at nighttime, in the evening time. And we should be there in about 1 hour and 10 minutes from now. Okay, folks, so we are going to continue our climb now to flight level 350. We have reached now 10,000. So let's go ahead and turn off the lights. So all landing lights can go off. Runway turn-off lights can go off. And we're pretty much now set for the remainder of the flight until we reach our top of descent. Very, very heavy rain here in Manchester. Okay, folks, so I will see you back at 35,000 feet. Welcome back, captains. We are almost there at our top of the climb, and this page should automatically now change to cruise page. Yeah, we're almost there, almost at 35,000 feet. This is our top of the climb, and as you can see, this is now has changed from climb to cruise. Okay, so we have reached 35,000 feet, which is our cruise altitude today for this flight. Everything is fine. A quick thing on the updates that IXEG has released with the hotfix was a compatibility problem with XUPIC. So once again, you can enjoy using EFASS to basically track your flight if you're flying on okay, let's set that fine. There. Okay. So you can enjoy EFASS again. I think with XUPIC there was an erratic climb and descent once you reach the cruise level. So that is fixed now, so you can enjoy that. And some things with the FMC, I believe. The full updates are in the email that you've received. Should be there. So let's go ahead and take a look at... so our top of descent will be in 301 nautical miles from now. We are fine. Everything is fine right now. And we can set the range here to 160. Yeah, so we can see farther away in our plan. So everything is all good now. Everything's fine, and we will continue until we are about 20 nautical miles from top of descent, and this is the time that I will come back and brief you on our approach into Bergen. Now the IXEG is a little different for doing an ILS approach. The procedures are slightly different from what we are accustomed to in the, for example, PDMG or the regular 737. So we will be doing a full ILS approach into Bergen, and I will show you exactly how to do that. So until then, relax, sit back, have a cup of coffee, and I will see you in a little while. Welcome back, captains. We are cruising at flight level 350, and we are 24 nautical miles from top of descent. So let's go ahead and configure the aircraft for our approach into Norway. Let's check our legs page here and see if we have a couple of restrictions. So here at Bravo Romeo 720, we need to be, beg your pardon, at Rivet, we need to be above 4,000, so that's the first restriction. So I'm going to reset the MCP altitude to 4,000 feet. Alright, so that's done. And let's go ahead. So that should basically, we should automatically begin our descent momentarily here. Let's go to the performance page. Now today we're going to be doing flaps 40 and 127. There we go. Okay, so that's done. And what else? Alright, so let's go ahead and set up the ILS frequency. Now if you want to do a full ILS approach, you need to put the ILS frequency here and on the other side, and set the course on both sides as well. So that's 110.5. That's 110.5. And we'll do the same thing here, 110.5. And the course, the runway course is 350. So we need 350 here, and on the other side, on the FO side, 350, and we need to do the same thing here, 350. Okay, so we are pretty much configured for descent and approach into Bergen Airport, and everything looks okay. We should begin our descent momentarily here. Let's go ahead back to cruise. So we are at 6.1 nautical miles from top of descent, at which point the aircraft will begin the automatic descent. Let's go ahead and set up a couple of fixes here. I'm going to set them at, let's see, FF35W. Okay. That's Foxtrot. I forgot what it was. Okay, FF35W. Okay. 35 whiskey. Alright. And let's set up two rings. One at 20 nautical miles. And one at 40 nautical miles. And this is just for situational awareness. So now you see the rings here, and this just kind of help us with setting the speeds, flight speeds. Okay, there we go. The automatic descent have begun now, and the plane will now automatically descend to 4,000 feet. The transition altitude at Bergen is 7,000 feet, and this is the altitude at which we need to switch the barrel reference from standard to the assigned value, and we will check that in a minute. Alright, let me adjust the range here. to 40 nautical miles. Okay. And all is good. It's a good practice to always have the heading, at the direction of the aircraft. All right. So let us descend to near 10,000 feet, and then I'll check back with you. Okay, folks, we are passing now flight level 10,000. So let's go ahead and turn on the lights. Runway turn off lights are on, and everything here is okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and increase the range a bit here. This is how things are looking. And we are reducing speed now to 220 knots. We're almost at our transition altitude. We are less than 20 nautical miles from the airport. This is the 20 nautical mile ring that we've created. So everything's fine at the moment. And we keep descending. Alright, we are approaching our transition altitude, which is 1006. So let me go ahead and set this to 1006. There we go. There's our ring, and that's the okay, we need to be at 2500 to intercept the ILS, so let's reduce that, and we're still okay. So did we reach? Yes, we are at 220 knots. I'm going to now reduce speed to 210 knots, and let's do, where are we? In terms of speed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce flaps 1. Alright, let's reduce the range now to 10 nautical miles. That's the airport. Alright, and let's go ahead and reduce speed to 180 knots. Okay, check to auto brake on 2. It's a very short runway, by the way. Alright, let me set our heading at a path to intercept. Okay, that's fine. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to heading select. And I'm going to arm the approach button. There we go. Alright, so we're almost at 2500, and I think we can reduce this now to 850, that's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and do flaps
2500.
So that's going to be flaps 5. Let's arm the speed brakes. Okay, everything looks good. And let's do flaps 10 and reduce speed to 160 knots. Alright, and now let's engage autopilot B. Alright, let me check here again on final approach speed. It's 127 plus 5, that's 132. Okay. Alright, here we go. We're getting aligned here with the runway. So 132. So let's reduce speed to 150 knots. There we go. And now we're getting aligned. All is well, and we are approaching the runway now. As you can see, the needle now is getting centered, so everything is okay at the moment. Alright, and now we are getting closer, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce flaps 15 and gear down. Right, and let's do flaps 25. Flight slope is active. It's a very short runway, so we have to be careful. Alright. So let's go ahead and reduce our speed to 145. And let's do actually 140. And flaps 30. Alright folks, let's go ahead and reduce speed to 132 knots, which is our approach speed. And let's do flaps 40. Alright, let's go ahead and disengage the autopilot.
400. 300.
Right, auto throttle disarmed.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And touchdown. Reverse green. And welcome to Bergen Airport. Right, manual braking. Okay, captains, we have made it safely here in Norway. Let's go ahead and turn. Alright, captains, I hope that you've enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I hope that this tutorial flight has been a useful tutorial for you, and that I was successful in showing you how to operate the IXEG Boeing 737. Folks, until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.